and two. What up, what up, what up, man? You know we back for another episode. We were damn near on time tonight. You know your boy been flaking the last few weeks, but we were damn near on time tonight. A little bit behind. Still having technical difficulties. Listen, this what happen when your budget ain't shit. You know what I mean? When it's all on your boy, your budget ain't shit. It is what it is, but I promise I'm gonna try to get it right. I'm gonna try to get better. We back for another episode of That's My Damn Opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, and your boy got one too. With that being said, I got two of my partners in the house tonight. The first guy I'm gonna let everybody know he don't need no introduction. It every week, every day, all the time, every time. My homeboy Pot, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening, world? What's going on out there? Thank everybody for tuning in. Gonna be a good hump day Wednesday. You know, it's Black History Month. Giving big shouts out to everything for the first. You know what I'm saying? I want to give shouts out to my grandmother first of all for the 6 888 in World War II. She's the first black from the state of Georgia to enlist in the military. You understand?
That's what's up.
Moultrie, Georgia, putting it on the map. Uh, Want to give shouts out to my relay team, man. East Atlanta Track Club, 30655. Record still stand, almost 30 years. Nobody's ever touched it. It's still there. Two Olympians and a Masters on that team. So everybody's still being fathers as well. And this is the first time, I might as well call this the Eagles nest right here, because hey, we all here. All the Eagles on the phone, from the Eagles to the Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying? So my boy CA, my 22 homie, shouts out to you. And my brother from another mother, you know how we get down every week, baby. It don't stop, it gets better.
That's what's up. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think I got another partner trying to hop in here. And I'm gonna have to turn this around. My camera angle may get a little messed up for a second. But before I bring them in, uh, we got another partner tonight, man. One of my OGs, one of my partners, man. He's another co-host on another show that I do called Respect the Hedges. Check us out every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. All Georgia football all the time. But once again, he's my own OG, one of the homeboys who I learned from. He helped put me in the game and put me on game. Shout out to CA. CA, what's happening with you?
Yes,
Man,
sir.
always excited to be here. Always excited to represent. Five double A is in the building. From the cab, the college part. We're gonna make sure we represent at all times. But yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. I think it's a great platform, and I like the subject matter. I'm gonna make sure I chime in when appropriate. But I got the camera out right now because I got to make sure my Cavassier cup full, right? I got to I'm still pre-gaming. So, yeah, just bear with me, but I'm going to pop in and out, man. Good to be in here, though.
Well, see, I tell you this, man. We normally do pregame. I got my glass. I'm sure Pot got his glass. This normally be the segment where we do a little music to get in and get settled. But once again, we having technical difficulties. So, we're a little early tonight, you know what I'm saying? But we normally get in like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm right on
And once
time.
again, that's what's up. I was just talking about Respect the Hedges. We have another, I won't even call him a co-host because I can't. That'll be disrespectful. He's actually the host of Respect the Hedges. Uh, Coach I in the building tonight. What's happening, Coach?
What's
Coach.
going
What's
on,
up, Cole?
fellas? AP.
What's up,
What it
baby?
do? Appreciate y'all having your boy.
No, we appreciate you tapping in, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
like I was saying to CA earlier, man, I apologize. We can't get the music in tonight. We
I
normally
know.
play
I
a
thought I was
song.
trying to get in for the music.
Yeah, man. You know what it is, man. Hey, coach, you know your boy got this soundboard and shit. I'm still trying to work shit out. You know what I mean? I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? Do it happen when the budget zero. You know what I'm talking about? You
Hey,
might
I
fuck
feel
around
you,
and be
bro.
on Wednesday night or Thursday night.
As long as you old. As long as you
Put a
old.
quarter in the game, now it's time to play, baby.
There you
Right.
go. So with that being said, man, I normally start my show off with this right here, and we're gonna go ahead and get into things after this. But I think Pot already did here. CA, if you want, Coach, you can can do yours, but you always get a chance. I do it in the beginning and the end. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on, or whatever you want the people to know. CA, anything you want to let the people know about, they can find you, whatever you got going on.
Track me down in two places, baby. You can either respect my damn opinion or, you know, respect these hedges. You know, you going that's pretty much how this working. I ain't even looking for a whole lot else. I ain't even promoting nothing else. You know, I'm here for my brothers and the platform. You know, it's quote unquote Black History Month, so we're gonna continue to celebrate the culture and everything inside and outside of it. So, you know, I'm just excited to be here. You know, we represent way more than ourselves. So we're gonna do our best to contribute where we can. You know, whether we agree or disagree, it's always about respect, man. So I'm just glad to be in the building.
Big facts.
I'm glad you said that, man, because I had a few people hit me last. Well, this ain't the first time, but I had a few people hit me last night about our show, which we had a great show last night on Respect the Head.
They don't understand how we talk to each other, Charlie.
There you go. You took the words out of my mouth. Let me tell you, man. I've been knowing these guys, you know, most of these guys that's on the show, not this particular show, but Respect the Head. I've been knowing these guys for over 20 plus years, directly or indirectly, or however you want to say it. Coach I've been knowing shit. I actually been knowing Coach I over 20 plus years and didn't know it because we was on campus together too.
Playing basketball Space Center.
Right. So when y'all see us, trust me, like we kick it in and off camera. So when y'all see us interacting, trust me, we all love each other. It ain't no problem. Matter of fact, we got our camera and we chopped it up about some more stuff. We had so guys, don't think we arguing or we maybe I don't want to say arguing. It just heated. I don't even say heated. For me, that's how I talk.
Listen, I was about to say, that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand how we talk. Like, we aggressive when we talk. We debate and we feel our point, how we feel our point. And it's all love. And I don't understand why more adults can't be like that.
Exactly. And shout out to the first lady, Shelby. I appreciate you tapping in once again. That's another Respect the Head member. Appreciate you tapping in.
My chat room partner.
Right.
So with that being said, I saw him in there last night. So with that being said, if y'all don't respect the hedges, if y'all don't just my damn opinion, trust me, you know, I don't know what other shows you may attend, but no, we brothers. It's all love. We all brothers and sisters. We hang on and off the court. You know what I'm talking about? And with that being said, it is Black History Month. I want to give my shout out and respect to Black History Month in terms of all the Black inventors. That's my shout out to all the Black inventors for Black History Month. Anybody else got anything on that?
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out. My freshman year, they opened the Ramsey Center, quite frankly known as the Space Center to us. You know what I'm saying? I would like to shout out to myself. I was the first Black person to swim in the Space Center. So, Black history for me.
You give him a boy.
Okay.
Muddying up
out there being buoyant.
The right way.
Out there being buoyant.
Hey, man, listen, it was... Hey, I was swimming in the
I had the first full track scholarship at the University of Georgia.
There it is.
That is right.
Here we go. Hold up now. I ain't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak a little bit loud on that. Yeah. Class shout out to 96. Shout out to Prairie High. And you know, please fact check me, but if I'm right, this is what I heard verbatim. Now I could be wrong. I heard it verbatim from a coach. My home by AP was the first Black athlete to get a full scholarship at the University of Georgia. Because when we were coming, they were giving out partial. He's the first one to get a full track scholarship. All expense. Oh shit! Show the receipts, goddamn.
I'm just saying for those that doubt.
Shout out to real
receipt. Let's say Vince Dooley, R.I.P. though.
Look at all this history on this.
That's hard. That's hard.
Goddamn, I didn't know you had the receipts, baby. Show the receipts.
I find out on eBay, I know they lying.
Got too many goddamn receipts. They better check the whole track record. Goddamn, they don't want to.
Man, got hardware and some more action. Let me get out of the way.
Man, shout out to AP and Coach I for setting precedents. You know what I mean?
Shouts out to all the new Black coaches in the NFL too, man.
That's right, man. That's right.
We got some feedback somewhere. I don't know who.
Microphone check. Microphone
Microphone
checker.
check.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Dang, we good. All right. So yeah, man. So shout out to Black History Month, all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna get into the main topic, but I'm gonna say that just a little bit towards the end because I just want to chop up on a few other things. Shout out to Toby Keith. I am a country music fan. He just recently passed. So any other fans of Toby Keith, shout out to Toby Keith, R.I.P. Rest in peace.
One of the
Anybody got
best to
anything
do
on
it.
that?
One of the best to ever do it in country.
I ain't know you fool with that Toby Keith, shawty.
Hey
Come
man,
on,
Toby
man, you
Keith. Listen, man, anytime a Toby Keith concert in town, used to be in town, you know, hey man, go the other way because the traffic gonna be rough because he's selling out every night.
I knew he did numbers. I just, boy, ain't nothing
Ooh-wee.
like finding out how diverse your homeboy really is. Look at y'all,
Listen,
man.
man.
Let me get out this
Hey
hole.
man, I have to tell people all the time right here, man. I just look like this, bro. I got the hat and
Mm,
shit on, these glasses. And when you really fuck with me, trust me, I got a little sense in my head. I just come off like I don't know nothing.
we don't
I'm
believe
very versatile.
you. We know that. Know that
So yeah, man. I'm trying to cover all the little news I got. Cover the Black History Month, Toby Keith for sure, man. Shout out to him. I wanted to play some film uh for Black History Month. That's one of the most undervalued groups to me, in my opinion. But
Have you
hopefully
ever
I can
been
get
broke
to film
before?
all day, man. Don't start. Maybe I can get to them next week when I get everything together.
Don't they own the spot that we was at for the SEC championship for Tailgate Kings?
Now,
Ain't
that
they
I
like
don't know, though.
part ownership? I think JV told me they was part owners in that.
If so, that would be great
I'm
news
Not
going
because
both
back.
it'd
of
be
them, but
good.
not both of them. Maybe one of them.
I think that's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe
Maybe
one of them.
smoke. Maybe smoke
It
was
got to
gonna
be
be on the
smoke. If we
scene.
want it, we're gonna
I
be smoke.
I
Yeah.
have to check with JV, but I'm pretty sure that's what he told me.
What was the other homeboy name?
Uh, and I'm looking at their picture right now. Smoke and no, my partner went through some things. He had cancer and shit, and what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
is it Sean,
I don't think so.
Sean J, and
No,
Yeah,
Sean, that young blood.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about
yeah.
Young Blood. Yeah, my bad. So
J.
anyway, yeah,
Paul.
my other partner, he had some thing going on, man. So that's why I figured it had to be smoke. Smoke seemed to,
Okay.
in my
I got you.
opinion, over the years to stay somewhere. Uh, and he had some things going on too, but in my opinion, he just seems to be a little bit more vibrant over the years. My
Stability
other
was there.
part, yeah. My other partner, he went through some things. He had a thing going on. They both stayed going in and out of jail, all that kind of shit. But Smoke seemed to be a little bit more. I don't want to say it seemed to be a little bit more, but he seemed to stay relevant over the
Yeah.
years, is what I can tell you. So shout
And
out
I
to him.
I did a fact check. I misspoke. It was Nappy Roots. Nappy Roots is part
Oh, I
owner.
love them too. They on
Yeah,
they gonna be they on the list,
Okay.
coach.
yeah, they part
Okay.
owner in Atlanta, where we was at for the SEC
No,
championship.
I was right. Tony T Small, shout out to T Small. It was Sean J. All right, his name, yeah, Sean J. All right.
We'll get it
And
right, T. My bad.
I think me and Steve were thinking about Sean Paul.
Right. I know his name
And
was
J and
Sean, you
J
know what I'm
Bo.
saying?
Yeah, Sean
Yeah, Jay
Paul.
Bo.
I thought
Yeah,
he
Exactly.
J
mixed
Bo,
up
there
the
you
young
go.
blood. I said, well, this
Look,
let me help
it
the
crazy.
boy
It's a
out.
mix of both of them. However you put it, it was a
Yeah,
mix of both of
exactly.
them.
Right, right.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. So shout out to T Small, man. I need to get you on the show one day, man. If I can't get you on
Small.
Respect the Hedges, at least
Small
slide
world.
on Jim, my damn opinion, man. There you go, small world.
The boy wide receiver room was deep when I was in school. Woo,
Hmm.
Hmm
Had to
So
fight for it.
man, let go on and hop into it, man. We ain't gonna hold up. We ain't gonna hold no bullets. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let these things fly. So as I was saying earlier, I could not get my audio together, my technical stuff together. So I'm gonna have to tell you guys about the story as opposed to letting you hear it. And I'm gonna try to explain it to the best of my ability to give you some context so you can give your opinions to the best of your ability. All right.
All
So
right.
the main thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and we talked about this probably when I first started my show some months ago. We was talking about the school system, and it has reared its head again. The first conversation was based off of, in my opinion, I don't know if Pot had the same opinion. It's been a while ago, but I thought the school system, in a sense, was failing us because I felt like we need to move towards more of a trade system. Meaning, in my opinion, I think as opposed to when you get to high school, kids need to start being tracked. Send them to wherever they being tracked. If you're scholastic, let them stay scholastic and take chemistry 25,000. But if you know they ain't making good grades, let's find a trade for them, whether it be CDLs, whatever it may be. They need to be their track. I don't want to get too deep into that, and I'll revisit. But the reason why it made me bring this up is because a jobs report came out, recent job report came out, and in the manufacturing and construction industry, between now and 2030, we're going to have 2 million jobs that may go get unfilled because people are not skilled enough. They don't have people skilled enough to fill these jobs. Because now when you work manufacturing jobs, you got to know computer work. You basically typing in input into a computer software to make the machine do what it do. You ain't did like it used to be back in the day. You standing in one spot and you stamping this all day and sending it down the assembly line. So now you gotta have a certain mental aptitude. So that what made me come into this particular segment that I want to talk about. A lady came up, well, I don't want to say that. I want to make sure our work is right. A lady was quoted as saying that the school system has failed her child. She was looking to go to her child's graduation, meaning the child has been in school 9th through 12th grade. And when she was looking to get ready to go to the child graduation, when she inquired, she found out that not only her son was not graduating, they were sending her child back to the 9th grade. Mm. So during that same 4 years, only one teacher conference was requested to the parent throughout those 3.5, 4 years time frame. The kid had also missed or was absent 282 times while failing 22 classes, but still being moved forward and promoted. So the mother felt like since her child was being promoted, that everything was okay. So I'm gonna open up the floor and I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm gonna let you guys speak on it. Whoever want to take it first, just go ahead and do your thing. Did the school system fail the child, as the mother said, or did the parent fail? And I know it's gonna probably be a combination of both, but at some point in the conversation, I want us to take a stance. Run with it.
I think the mother failed the child. I think CA said it best last night off camera. Everybody failed in the situation, but like you said, we gotta take a stance as a parent. And I mean, it kind of relates to sports. Like, as a coach, you can't be like, well, I didn't know they was partying down there, taking money, doing whatever they was doing, because it's your program. You have to be responsible. This is my child. I have to be responsible. I don't know how it works in other counties, but in Greenville County in South Carolina, you get a notification for every absence, every tardy. It don't matter. And unless I just don't give a flying whatever,
I'm gonna say, well,
right. Like as a parent, I don't care if he's 16, 17, and he's supposed to know what to do, and I gotta go to work. I still gotta check on him as long as he under my care. I mean, my mama still check on me, and I'm almost 50 years old, dog. Like, I mean, you're a parent. That's your responsibility.
Say it again, Coach, please.
Listen, man, your child is your responsibility, dog. And there's no way on God's green earth I'm taking air into my lungs and I don't know what's going on fully. Not just, oh, wait, they promoting him. Like, I know when my son don't get a 80. Like, I got an alarm set. It sends me a message. If he don't get an 80 or better, it sent me a notification. I'm checking. And even when I don't get a notification, I'm still checking his grades. I'm checking to make sure he in school. I dropped him off. it's crazy that you said you was going to talk about this because about a month ago, I dropped him off after going to the dentist around about 9 o'clock or so. They called me at 12 and my son wasn't at school. I called, listen, I called school. I called the school and the lady was like, well, her first response was, all you got to do is have a teacher call to the office and we'll correct it in the book. I told the lady, I don't give a damn about that book. Where my son? You called me and told me my son wasn't in school. Where my son? Like, I don't care nothing about what you market. Right. I need to know where he's physically present. Because that's my job as a parent. I can't just be like, oh, well, he's at school because I dropped him off. I don't know. I'm making sure nobody walked off my child. He walked off the campus. I don't know. But as a parent, man, ultimately, I'll close with that, man. It's your responsibility. That falls on her. He getting sent back, that falls on her.
I'm coattailing. I'm goddamn coattailing coach. 1,000%. They're our responsibility. But at the same time, they need to understand that they are the help. They're the help. So, like you said, I'm gonna get an alert too. After a certain percentage in class, if you dropping or you missing class or you miss a certain amount of days, you get notification. So as a parent, you go 4 years, your kid fails 22 classes. That goes back to what we was talking about in one of our segments. They're giving the failures the push on. It's in the books. Now they even raised it higher to where if I don't even do my homework or if I just I'm late or whatever, the kid can't make nothing less than a 50. And it's like, wow. I got to depend on this generation to take care of me. When I get to be 70, 80, 90 years old, and everybody got their hand out. Playing these damn video games. And dressing like the rappers. Not understanding the pros and cons of that shit. Everybody want to be thug like. They got guns. They got knives. Nobody want to be the kid anymore. They smoking weed early. And the parent just blind to the whole fact that this is my responsibility. You're going to let me go 4 years, 22 classes, and I got to go back. Ain't no way possible.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later, Pop. That was a good point. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later, too. Really, I ain't going to cut y'all. Go ahead. What you got, CA?
I mean, it's hard to go against what these two gentlemen in front of me just said. Definitely, if I had to pick a side, I'm definitely gonna say the parent is more at fault because you know that again, that's your child, just as Coach said. That's your responsibility to have some level of knowledge about what's going on. You can't be completely ignorant to that many failed classes without, that's damn near on purpose. Like it's almost like you've been avoiding it. You just been hoping it was okay. And now we're in a predicament where you don't know if your child is graduating and they telling you we going back to the 9th grade and starting it all over, which is crazy on the school side. I mean, this is such a huge failure in this specific instance.
Thank you.
Like this is horrible for both sides because we just mentioned all the if my son or either my daughter's 5 minutes late, text message, email, they blowing my little jack up, and I'm, it might aggravate me because I know what's going on, but at the same time, I do appreciate the aggravation because I need to know the system is in place so that we don't have this ball getting dropped, especially this 200 and some absences, and you playing dumb like your son finna walk. That's ignorance on both sides of the coin. It's hard for me to say, one is more than the other, but definitely the parent is going to be held to a high standard. That whole school system should be looked at when you look at all the failures that took place in that child's specific circumstance? You know, why you even allow him to come back to your building when he's missed that many days? How do you allow? You, I don't know all the rules. Every system does seem to play by its own. But you know, if that's the case, coach, then we got to
gonna throw
revisit
this
how we
out.
got it.
I wanted to
I'm-
say
go
something
ahead.
to Shelby. Shelby like said the social worker called her when Sid was out for 5 days, and this is what I'll say. And this ain't just something new as far as Greenville County is concerned here where I am, because I do have a 28-year-old who went through the same thing. Anytime like you get
Hold
to
on,
miss,
coach him in a 28-year-old. I mean, as another parent.
no, like I got a 28-year-old daughter.
He got a child.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Yeah.
I just
So,
heard
Yeah,
28 and
that's
school
what
don't go
28,
together. My bad. Okay, my bad.
no.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I said that to say like it's not just that the rules just changed for my younger son who's
Gotcha.
12, but
Gotcha.
for my daughter it was the same way. You know, here you only can miss 10 total days unexcused, 5 in each semester. And like Shelby was saying, if you miss more than 5 days in our system, you get a call from the truancy officer.
There you go.
Truancy is like you work in, you work in social work, they coming to see if your house is unfit. And I remember when my son was in the 3rd grade, he had 3 unexcused absences, and we didn't send no note. I thought my wife was doing it. She thought I was doing it. And then they sent us a letter. It's like 2 more. We're gonna have to visit our house. I was like, I had to have a conversation with my wife. I'm like, listen, I was like, you didn't send the he was sick at home letter. She was like, I didn't think we had to. I'm like, the truancy officer will be here if we let him miss 2 more days. So that's why it's just like, I think that's where some of the responsibility on the school. I don't know how they was reporting these absences, but there's no way they was reporting these correctly, and the social services didn't step in, because that's an unfit household if that's the case.
And that's what I'm getting at, coach, and to everybody. I want to pose this once again. I mentioned that there was only, throughout his high school career, or current high school career, there was only one teacher parent meeting conference requested, and that didn't happen.
That's negligence, maybe. Both sides. That's
what state?
Right.
What state and what county was this in?
I don't know the county, but it was in Baltimore.
That's crazy. But you know what? Now that you say that, I know what you're telling me, but Baltimore, I'm not saying it's right, but from what the people that I know from Baltimore and how bad they talk about like the impoverished areas are, it actually don't surprise me though. Like
you're gonna be in jail.
So, but the reason I say this is, and the reason that what makes it so perplexing in a sense, you have now school budgets. You have more. The school budgets are more than they've ever been. They'll put more into the school system there than ever. So how are we putting more money? I don't want to go back to sports because we kind of talked about it there. But how are you putting more? Actually, it goes to kind of some of the points that you guys were making on your side. We're putting more money and resources into the school system and getting worse results. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, where are we failing it?
I think it's a societal thing, and AP touched on it when he gave his answer. Like, he was right. Like when all of us was coming in grade school and even college, if you didn't turn something in, you got a 0. That was it. You got 0. Now, if you don't turn something in, you get a 50. It's called not handed in. That's what it is. So, I mean, you think about all the kids that fail in school. Like, bro, all you got to do is hand the assignment in. It ain't even all got to be right. And you shouldn't fail school. And then on top of that, like AP said, as they get older and they flunking, they just say, okay, you a certain age, we're going to push you on through. That ain't, I mean, we got to figure out, school's got to figure out a way to do something with these older kids that can't get it down, because you can't just pass somebody along. And then you got this situation right here. Now they talking about sending this dude back to 9th grade. This dude probably like 20 years old. Like, what we talking about here?
He'll probably get on one of them big equipment. You can probably get on one of them big equipment machines, man, and move it down here.
See, to that point, like if the kid didn't do it right between 17 and 19 or whatever he is, he ain't finna go back at 20-year-olds and ninth grade and try to do it.
Drop out.
Yeah, that's unrealistic. That's not even a real thing. Like, they may as well have just denied him a few years back. Like, he'll never sit in a ninth grade class at that age. You know, he'll be
They've
night
been
schooling
different
No,
before he do
depths.
that.
that's it. See, a night
But
school
legally
and
he can. That's what I'm saying. But legally he can until he's 21.
night school and GED in his
In a
future,
high
dog.
school.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
saying
until you're
legally.
21.
Yeah, kids
Until
can stay till you're
21.
21. Yeah, in high school legally you can stay till you're 21.
They're gonna let them age out.
At 21, you
gonna
got to
age
be
out,
out
then
because you're
what?
considered an adult and you can't
Right
be
at
with
that
kids.
point, yeah, right. But but I'm just saying, just from a mind standpoint, it's not gonna. The kid ain't gonna do it. But then again, you never know. But I would think a kid with that mindset, if you ain't done it right between 17 and 19, you ain't finna start back over and try to. You just rather go get
They
your
need to get
GED
something to
or.
find his attention. Put him in a trade. Put him in a
But this,
trade.
but that's the
That
thing,
goes to what I was saying earlier.
right? And that, but what they've done on both sides, the parent and the school, they like your teen years, especially 13 to 18. Like that high school, 8th grade to 12th grade. That's when you really that's puberty. You starting to form ideas, your opinions on the world and life. Think about this. This dude don't think he got to do nothing. Like, dog, he might not be successful ever in anything because of how they've allowed him to go through life. Like, I don't know what he been doing when he ain't in school, but
You're right, coach. But he really hadn't had no structure. Like he hadn't
right,
had like everything around him has failed him. You see
right.
what I'm saying? Like he hadn't really had a chance.
So think about trying to put this dude out into society by himself as a 21-year-old.
He definitely would need help. We don't know how to help with, if it's going no guarantee it's gonna work. But
well, I think the answer to in my opinion, the answer to that possibly could have been if we could have caught the kid, in my opinion, shout out to Shelby. She said in Atlanta public schools, you can't return if you are age 20. So laws may have changed. I thought it was 21, so it's age 20. You have to get a GED, which makes sense.
Okay. So
but,
19.
Okay.
Which I guess 20 is the cutoff.
That makes sense. If you got a late birthday, you should be 19
right.
when you graduate. Gotcha.
Wow. So what I'm getting at is, if we can, in my opinion, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just talking about I'm speaking in generalities here. I'm saying when you get to the 9th grades, these kids' skill sets at that point. You know what they've been doing in school. So if you got that knucklehead, that same kid who we talking about, he probably would have been a hell of a, manufacturing worker or CDL driver.
Yeah.
Because he would have known he could have earned money not having to be able to, do calculus 20,000. He can learn, he can drive, he probably driving trucks already, just ain't got CDLs or doing, other, and just ain't legally doing it. But they're going to put this kid on that path in the 9th grade. It don't make no sense trying to send him to college or nothing. It's a waste. You got more college kids in debt than you got probably making money.
I
think you're right there. I think each high school should have one trade specialty that they give, their student body a chance to take advantage of. But those are rare. I mean, there used to be a lot more opportunities. I feel like, because I forgot the title of those trade classes, but we used to have a lot of those like draft,
like magnet schools. We was a magnet school.
Well, see, we because we're a manufacturing state in South Carolina, we used to have, they don't have it no more, but when we was in school, they had something called Enery. Enery, you went to your base classes like 1st through 4th period, you went to lunch, and then after lunch, you got on a bus and you went to Enery. And at Enery, you learned carpentry. And it was a choice. You didn't have to go to Enery. It was
vocational. I think we
vocational. Yeah. That's it.
Vocational.
Ours was called Enery because that's the location in the city.
Gotcha.
But it was vocational, like CA said. It was carpentry, brick mason, manufacturing skills, those type of things. You didn't have to choose it, but a lot of people did because, like Shawty said, they already knew. Like, bro, I ain't really. Yeah,
they walked out of high school able to get a job.
Bro, when I was coaching high school basketball, I had one of my students tell me in the 10th grade, he said, "Coach, I just go to school so I can play ball. I'm gonna be a truck driver." And he is a very successful truck driver right now. He got his CDL as soon as he graduated high school.
So I remember to this day, even when I got to college, and I'm gonna put his name out there. Matter of fact, shout out to Antonio Cochran. I remember in college as a young kid, I might have been a freshman or sophomore or something like that. And when he said it to me, I was like, you know, I blew it off. It didn't really resonate to me. But now that I'm older, it just makes sense.
What Macon County had to say?
I was talking to Antonio Cochran one day, and I was talking about going to Claire. I like, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I got to go to Claire. I got to do this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, shit, Shawty. NFL going to pay my bill. Fuck Claire. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, what?
Class of 94, baby.
Right. I'm like, we here in school to go to school. We got to go to school. But now he's like, bro, this ain't what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this is what I'm saying is like, just as an example, like once again, I'm speaking in generalities. But once I get into ninth grade, bro, you know what I'm about, bro. Listen, I'm an athlete. So I need to go to my course need to be like PE, shop,
weightlifting,
working out. Like 2 of my courses or 1 of my peers need to be working out.
And
I don't need to be going to chemistry 2000. What I'm going to that for?
And money management. That's the only like real class.
There you go.
Money management.
I said accounting. I was going to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Like money management, investing, or whatever. It need to be around those things.
Certain point. You know what I'm saying? You learn that math to a certain point. But after a certain point, I ain't trying to go make no goddamn gas or BP or nobody like that. But I need to learn this shit for me.
Hey, so I got 10 fingers and 20 toes. If I can count to 20, I'm good.
Shawty got 20 toes, y'all.
He got 20 toes. He got 20.
I said 10. I'm sorry, I got 10 fingers and 10 toes. If I can count to 20, I'm good. I can figure the rest out. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, listen.
Like when was the last time?
Trade need to be available, man.
When was the last time? As a matter of fact, I think Coach. You know, you correct me if I'm wrong. I think Coach was maybe a computer science major or something like that.
I started as a computer science, but I ended up math. You know, me and T Small up in that multivariable calculus class in the back.
Yeah, even you're a math major, computer science, all this shit. Yeah. All I'm saying is, when the last time in your life you don't have to use and correct me again if I'm wrong, what that shit called, the Pythagorean theorem, or what it's called? That shit we had that shit we had to learn. Like, who used that? Like, you know, who uses that?
But that goes to your point. If you know you want to be an engineer, you're gonna have to start taking some of that stuff. If you ain't trying to be no engineer, well, what's crazy is when we was in school, we all had some of these, like Antonio Cochran telling you NFL gonna pay your bills. Like, I used to ask people what their major was, and then they tell me something like, history. I'm like, so you want to be a teacher? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, why are you majoring in history? Like, that's like, who's sitting around trying to remember what Genghis Khan did? Like, we don't talk about that every day. I'm like, unless you're going to be a certain profession, you don't need.
Hey, Coach, I bet you did right here in CA. I bet you did. If you ask a motherfucker what they major was, and they said family and child development, I bet you know what they was, an athlete.
Listen, we definitely.
The building was deep.
Hey, the building was deep. Family and child development and turf grass management.
That was a major?
Yeah.
Hey, but what's crazy is
it was later though. See, it was a little bit later. See,
but this is the thing with the turf grass management. That still goes to what you talk about at trade. You could start that in high school because that's like them people make a lot of money taking care of the hedges and the fields and stuff like that. But that's not why a lot of people was taking it back then. It was taking it because it was an easy A or something like that. It's like, but
Bermuda.
You got to start doing more guiding kids on what they want to be instead of just, like you say, just randomly taking classes. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of kids are randomly taking classes because they don't know what they want to be. I think that's the difficult part too. You know, in the 9th grade, you don't really know. You think you know. You don't. So when I look at my situation,
we know what those test scores is.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So when I look at my situation in the 9th grade, I tested into a lot of classes I didn't want to take.
Right.
But because I had tested into, those classes, that was the track I was on. So I did participate in a lot of classes that I didn't use and don't use in my professional career. But oddly enough, when I got to Athens and went from accounting to general business and to consumer economics, I actually used the hell out of my consumer economics degree. All day, every day, because it does entail what I'm doing as far as a lot of my interactions with people and trying to do whatever the job entails. So, it for me, it did kind of weave around, but I don't think a lot of those young people know what they want to do yet. And right now, we're pushing everybody to a digital age, so it's hard to recognize these trades as opportunities until you realize most of these guys driving these F-250s and F-350s make six figures using that truck and running their own business. So, it's a hard dynamic for a young kid to see because they pushing what's on the label.
Yeah, I think you're right, CA, and I think some schools are trying to get better. There's certain schools, I'm sure, in Atlanta, every state that'll try to give you, like, for instance, my son's middle school is considered one of the STEM middle schools. So what you do instead of, like, when we came up, you took art as related arts, you took art, music, PE. That's what you did. For them, you can choose to take 4 what they call them, quarters, 4 quarter classes. So first quarter he took broadcast journalism. Second quarter he took video game coding.
Exactly.
So they give them a long list of stuff to choose from, basically. And as they presented it to us when we was going to, like, the information meeting, it was like, because kids don't know what they want to do, we want them to try everything so they can find out. And I don't think enough schools do that kind of thing, to see
it's rare.
Charlie's point.
It's rare. Those programs are rare.
They are. And it's like, and it shouldn't be like that though. Like, it's like, if you ain't putting your child in private school, there's very, very few schools that have stuff like that. And we just wasting the kids' time. That's really what we're doing.
Coach, wow. Okay. Good, great point. I don't have kids and things, so a lot of times when I make comments and things like that, I'm a social worker and I work in the school system, blah blah blah, yada yada. But I don't have kids, so at the end of the day, I can't never just truly, say what it is to have a kid, in my opinion. But I think I just heard you say something that really just made me come up with a question for you.
All right.
So, like, at what point, like, I hear you guys saying, like, it really, like, and that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation, because most guys and women that I know that and I deal with don't have these issues, right? So, does it maybe boil down to resources? It always seems to boil back down to money. Now, I'm not saying that we rich. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But does it boil down to resources? Because generally when we're talking about these things, we're talking about, low economic, population. But in my opinion, you don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say to that question, I think it somewhat resources. I can only speak for, the city that I'm in or whatever. As we were coming up, I always thought those kind of opportunities were only afforded to the private school people. And of course, I can't afford $20,000 a year for my child. I make a decent living, but I ain't trying to pay 20. You know what I'm saying? But there are some public schools, only a few. There's some public schools, like I say, only a couple here in our area that do that kind of thing. Now, I have to drive, like, we take my son, like the school that he's zoned for, they don't offer that. So the resources comes into play that me and my wife have, cars and can afford the gas.
Outside.
And so we drive 30 minutes away outside of the school zone to take him to this middle school. It's still a public school, but everybody don't have that same resource. I have a job that allows me to be flexible. That's a non-monetary resource. You know what I'm saying? I have a job and she has a job that allows us to be flexible, work remotely sometimes. All of that works in part to get him to and from this school. Whereas somebody working a 7 to 7, plant job, they can't afford it. They got wherever the bus can take you, that's where you're going. So I think some resources are into play with that.
So CA, to what Coach just said, I'm gonna come to you first, then I'm gonna go to Pot. So what Coach just said, let me pose this particular question to you. I've always heard, this is how I was raised. My mom and dad always told me, hey, even though you're poor, they ain't got nothing to do with being clean. You still be clean and be poor. You know what I'm talking about? You stay in the worst. You can stay in the worst neighborhood, the worst place, whatever. They ain't got nothing to do or shit with your house being clean, the bathroom being clean, right?
True.
So I say that to say this to you, CA, to what Coach just said, just picking back off what Coach just said. Do you think it's possibly a lack of resources, or it truly just start at home with the kid that you are actually sending out into the public to be educated? If that makes sense.
Um, I definitely feel like it's a lack of resources. I think it's just a clear disparity in schools and school systems. You know, what coach is describing is what my mom, you know, tried to do as far as we were in a specific zip code and I went to school in another because she was able to get me back and forth. So now, you know, I'm in a position to where I just moved to the district. That's how we chose where we wanted to live. It was based on the schools offering what we needed them to offer to the kids so that I didn't have to, you know,
That's a
make that
good
trek
point. See,
if at all possible. So there is, but that does come into play, you know, that's not, I can't assume everybody's able to do that. But at the same time, I do think it's definitely based on the resources available because these schools do offer a lot to the kids here locally. And when I, you know, when I came up, we only had specific options. You know, I didn't realize the disparity until I got to college because I quote unquote did well in school, and then I get to Athens and I realize how far behind I am in certain subjects versus others. You know, some I'm on par, some I'm ahead, but exactly some things I never experienced, and you don't know what your school is lacking until you get into another environment where you're competing with kids who've had a chance to experience and be involved around more. So, you know, it's a tough dynamic, but definitely I would say the resources. Now, the kid you put out there has to be prepared because there are going to be dynamics that you've got to instill in that child at home. You know, understanding how to deal with adversity as far as, you know, in the class and, you know, in the social dynamic. There are a lot of things that come into play, especially with all of these new forces that kids are dealing with, whether it's, you know, cell phones or, you know, whatever, cyberbullying, however it comes across. So you do have to prepare the kid at home. That's an extremely important part because the kid has to have a chance to be focused. You know, if the kid's sitting in there hungry and worried about what's going on at home, it's going to be tough to focus in any
Good
environment.
point.
But at the same time, when you do get to that environment, hopefully there's some stability there. There's some opportunity there. There's some teachers that care about the results. There's some teachers that are being properly compensated, which is also a tough dynamic because, you know, you're putting teachers in a tough spot when you're asking them to teach kids that have behavioral issues and you're not even compensating them properly for their work. So it's all kind of things that go into this algorithm, but it's just going to fall back on the parent because we have to do what we can to put our kids in the best position to be successful.
Oh man, thank you. You said it. So you said it best.
Right.
Pop, before I come to you, because I'm gonna come to you. I'm glad you said that. I don't want to steal the thunder. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sway what my partner gonna say next. But well, you touched on some points that I'm 100% with you, and that's ultimately where I end up with. But before I even say anything else, Pot, I'm gonna come to you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna pose the question to you is this right here. Like, at what point? Because it sounds like, you know, I don't want to put words into the guy's mouth. They can correct me if I'm wrong. But it sounds like ultimately, you know, the book starts at home, right?
I think
Ultimately,
so.
it starts at home because we have a product that we're sending out into the world that we expect to receive some type of education or whatever you want to call it. We're sending that product out. So that product is a representation ultimately of what or who I am, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna pose this question to you, and it goes to kind of one of the points CA touched on. Pot, and you know this, we from impoverished environments. Maybe the mom, and obviously more than probably 50% of the time, it ain't no dad. maybe the mom just don't have time to be, she working, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. She send the kid to school, and that's where she trusts because that's what she pay her taxes for. She trusts her public school. She pay her taxes. She working 80 hours a week. She pay her taxes. She doing what she's supposed to do when she sent her child to school to get an education and properly be protected when I send my child to school. Does she have any ground to stand on from that standpoint?
Yeah, bro. And everything CA said and everything you coattailed on, I mean, shit, I damn near had tears in my eyes. That ending, there was us, We came from that part where it was like, shit, I can't go 30 minutes, 45 minutes away from the crib to go to school. I got to go where we stay. We stay right here. You going right here. And that's what it was. Now, it's going to start at home. You represent what you taking out of here, which is who raising you, which was my mom. And she instilled in me with ass whippings and for real punishments what these kids don't get today. And at the same time, she instilled in me, when you get out here in these streets, when you go to school, when you're out here by yourself, I can't be with you all the time. You're the only child. I got to go to work, like you said. 60, 80 hours, a little overtime, putting it in. So, my mom was a nurse, so, she was 7 to 7 anyway. It got to the point, by the time we were seniors, I was driving.
I still saw her at school a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, and she was vice president of PTA.
All that. You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? Responsibility. She took care of her responsibility. She knew. Okay. She only had one, but I took enough ass with about 3, 4 kids, bro. Because I took her to that level sometimes, but I learned. They talked the bullshit. I had other helpers. My mom had brothers. I had good uncles. My dad was around. He did his thing. It wasn't like they were husband and wife and all that, but he was around enough to where I still knew my people on his side. And when he was in and out, he was just in and out. But I understood. I left that alone. My mom got married, living life. My stepfather passed. She didn't remarry till later on. But another 2 years when we was in school, he demanded respect coming out of the house. You're not gonna come up out of here pants sagging, looking like whatever. You're gonna have your hair trimmed up, you're gonna have your pants up, you're gonna be ironed, creased up, you're gonna be clean. Go in here and try to learn something. When you're on the field, when you're at practice, you go in there and you try to learn something. Get bigger, better, faster. She did what she could on the tail end when we needed extra money. When I needed extra money for USATF during the summertime. Coming back up when we were doing 7-on-7 in the spring in the summertime. When she was coming up there, we had camps, cooking breakfast, her and Ron mama, Fat Tay mama, Aunt Benson mom, you know what I'm saying? A couple more other moms came up there, Tron mama coming up there. So I remember all those times, man, that was us. Those parents that sent us to school, do what we had to do, and they put that time in, that was us. So it started at home, but you as an individual, you carry that with you and you represent and understand why you represent.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say this, man. We have been on great talk, man. Real talk. I'm talking about. I'm saying, I think you guys, once again, all you guys,
man, you about to wrap us up, Shawty?
No. We got about another.
I got notes.
Go like that, like this.
I'm like, bro, this is a good topic, dog. What you doing? I got notes.
No. I'm about to wrap up. I was actually about to pay homage. You know what I'm saying? I was about to pay homage to you guys, man. Just real talk, man, because I'm not a fan of because you didn't do something that means you don't know or can't teach it or can't preach. But this is definitely a situation or a segment where you guys have kids and although I have went to school for this and I've talked about this is my life, this is my work, this is what I do. But ultimately I take my hat off to you guys as fathers, as parents, because I know some wit on how you treat your kids and how your kids do at school. And so I want to take my hat off to all you guys just as fathers, especially being Black fathers, being involved in your kids' lives and continue to put out productive citizens. That's where I was about to go there. I wasn't about to shut it down. I wasn't about to shut it down. I really wanted to pay homage because, you know, you know, granted I don't have kids, but this is my life. This is my work. I truly have a passion about this part in terms of social services. So I'm just always amazed, and when I hear things about
like
Black fathers not being, I'm just like I don't know. I do because I work, but the guys that I deal with and I know, none of you guys, all you guys are involved. All you guys are good fathers from what I know, and you are involved in your kids' life. So it may be a little bit harder for you to relate to this particular subject. And that brings me to this question, and I'm gonna leave the floor open.
Good point.
Anybody can answer it however you want. I'm not gonna put it in, or you can answer it however you want to. So, like, at what point, or would there ever be a sense in time where you yourself take the initiative to check on your child? Like, do you have to take that initiative? Like, or would you take that initiative? Like, you're not waiting on the school system to be like, progress report is coming out in 2 weeks or blah, blah, blah. To me, I feel like you guys are the mindset, hey, I ain't heard that. Damn, what you saying, Jimmy? I'm gonna go holler at the teacher or the counselor.
Yeah.
I gotta get checked 2 times. I be hitting them up, like, hey, what the grades at? I know when they come out. I got people all on the inside, so they let me know.
I'm not a
grades that I got the Texas.
I'm not a wait and see dad. I'm not a wait and see dad. There's of course the kids have the student portal, backpack portal, and then there's a parent backpack portal. I can log on anytime I want to and check my son's grades. I can check his absentees. I can check his tardies. I can check comments that teachers don't let them. They use Google Classroom to do a lot of their work. I got a Google Classroom account. I'm logged into his. Like my son knows there's nothing he can do that's gonna get past me because I'm checking. I'm checking all the time, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm a proactive parent because I feel like, especially in the Black community, we're so reactive.
Say she don't need permission.
Right. Right. I'm with you, Shelby. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, especially like to what CA said earlier, man, about a lot of the lower incomes. We already know a lot of the low income areas are mostly us. You know what I'm saying, as Black folks. So I feel like knowing that, you should go the extra mile as a parent, regardless of your financial resources. There's always other resources, and that was a good point. Like CA said, he moved into the school district. CA didn't have to move into the school district. CA could move anywhere he wanted, but he chose to move into that district for his kids because that's what parents do. You do stuff for your kids. Like you don't be like, well, I can't do that. Well, I say this about money and time. You do with those two things what you actually want to do. When somebody say, I ain't got time to do that, you got time to do whatever you want to do. I ain't got money to do that. You make room for whatever you want to pay for. And in CA's situation, he made room to move into the district. That's what he did. Now, I'm not saying he don't like the house, but he probably could have moved anywhere he wanted to, but he chose to do what was best for his kids' track in life. So that's where it starts at home, to what AP said. You know what I'm saying? And I told you, man, I've been taking notes.
And to that point, look, Coach, I want to piggyback off that. To your point, And CA know if I'm lying on flying. Matter of fact, when I tell a lie, they tell me to shut up. I moved to a fucking county and I don't have kids and gotta pay extra taxes because the school system is the best in the state and I'm paying extra taxes in the county I stay in and I ain't even got kids. Am I lying, CA? CA been to the house.
I've been there.
That's
That's how
crazy,
you
man.
wanted it.
Hey,
That's
you put
right.
it out there, at least, hey, the little female, she gonna be like, hey, yeah.
And like you know what I'm saying, and like
They gonna get good
CA
education.
and Pot said, man, it starts at home. I feel like everything with your child, you can't raise no perfect human being. You can't be no perfect parent. Your kids still can misstep, but the foundation has to be, you know what I'm saying, at the house, though. Like I had a parent ask me one time, how did I get my child to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes,
What?
ma'am, no, ma'am? I said,
What?
I just reminded him like when he started talking and he knew what he was saying, 2, 3. If he said, if I said, hey, you hungry? He said, yes. I said, yes, what? He said, yes,
Oh,
sir.
somebody asked you that, coach? Well, they white or black? I just gotta ask.
Black.
Oh,
Black?
Asked me
you
how,
ain't
like
surprised.
they said we can't get the
Fuck
lady
outta
said
here.
we can't get our daughter to say yes, ma'am. No, I say, I don't know what, like that's not that's you being lazy, not wanting to correct. Did I have to correct my son a lot? Yes, I did. But now it's with he does it second nature, and I
Shit
think
like
the
a
same thing,
reflex.
like the
I'm
same thing
50
with
and
Grace.
well, I ain't 50, but I say
That's
that
right.
shit now, and I'm 46.
How cool are you?
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of this starts at home, man. Like my mom told me, like when I got my first C, she had me bring the report card to her. And y'all all know those old school report cards. It had A was a certain number, 93 to whatever, a B. So, but beside each one, a A said excellent, B said above average, a C
Shout out
said
to
average.
Jason, Hall of Fame College Football
Shout out to
Network, man.
Jason.
Appreciate you, Captain.
Jason,
My
what's
bad,
going
coach.
on, man?
That's right. I have no problem. Hey, so my when I got my first C,
Average.
right, CA, you know where I'm going with it, CA. She say, what that say beside the C, Isaiah? I said average. She said, you know what average mean? I say, like everybody else. She said, you want to be like everybody else the rest of your life? Why did I have that same conversation with my son before he started school? I said, we don't bring home
you.
I said, we don't bring home C's. I see, man, coaching 15 plus years, man, I see so many parents say, my kid got good grades. And I'm looking at the grades. I'm like, if he was in my house, he wouldn't have no electronics. He wouldn't be able to call no friends. I'm like, your son C's and a D here. Like, what are you talking about? Good grades because he got 1 A in PE. Like, I
Coach,
think
you drifting off into a whole nother subject.
Listen,
I hate to see kids walk around. And CA, I think CA was up next, or either Pop. Now I apologize, but I just hate to see kids. You know, this is my thing, and I don't want to get into the call. We jump into a whole other category. But I hate to see kids walk around and like all our kids, they walk around in J's and red bottom this or whatever. But that shit only for it's like when that commercials come on, they be like, in the lady, I think it was Flo. Somebody got some back. It was like Flo. It was the insurance commercial. And she'd be like, do you want sprinkles on your ice cream? She like, you don't get sprinkles. Sprinkles are only for champions. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you only get Jordans and shit when you get A's and B's. That's the kind of shit you wear when you get A's and B's.
Right. Again,
Jordans and all the high thing shit.
Starting at home, man. And not to be long, my last point is I think AP time touched on it, and CA mentioned a little bit like people having resources and like AP mama. Like, and you said, I'm glad you did, Shawty. AP mama worked 7 to 7. She's a nurse, but you said I saw her at school a lot. You know why? Because it was important to her. I feel like, especially in the Black community, we'll do whatever it takes for our child to try to make it in athletics. But when it comes to academics, we like can't get them to the school. I can't get up there to PTA. But you'll travel. You'll figure out how to take him to 2 counties over so he can play for. Grayson, or he can play for, I'm not trying to step on no toes.
And I'm totally opposite. I'm different. I don't have a kid. I can just tell you about when I was growing up. I ain't got the money. If you can't go come get my kid, if you can't get him no waiver, I ain't got no fucking $300, $400, $500, $600 for him to be playing for you.
Right.
He going to the shit with the shit free.
He ain't driving.
I ain't got
that.
And see, that's an initiative to the parent. Like as a parent, if you know you got that child athletically on your hands, then you tell the coach you want him to play bad enough. Figure out a way for him to get to school.
There you go. If he that fucking good, get him out there, coach.
Right, and it's like it all starts at home, man.
Like you ain't finna trick me, telling me my son all this and that, and I'm paying $800. He playing 3 minutes a game. Now if he the fucking man, get him, come get him, and waive his fee because I ain't got it.
Figure out a way, man. You got to do as a parent. You got to figure out a way.
And if he ain't playing that there, he gonna be in the rec league over here 3 miles from the house where I can get him to, or he can down there walk to. I tell CA he can ride the CA son.
Listen, and that's communication. That's a resource. You know what I'm saying? It takes. We always
have both of them over there in that STEM class.
Right. Listen. That's one of the resources I talked about, how we take our son to the middle school, but his best friend and his best friend's sister both are in the same grade. I called the parents. I was like, look, we stay in the same neighborhood. Y'all want them to go to this school. We want our child to go to this school. Let's work out a schedule. So I pick them up sometime. I take, my wife take them sometime. They pick them up sometime. Take them. No, you got to do what you got to do. I say he going to this school regardless of what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's where he's going because that's the best avenue for him. So you got to do what you got to do, man. It started at home. That's where it started.
Anybody else want to expound on that? I just knew, man. I grew up in the bottom, man, and my mom didn't have money for shit. And I know times have changed, but if I had to go to practice or something, and I've always been a good athlete, and if I had to go to practice or listen, no folks had to come get me. I stayed in Perry home where I was playing in Lake. My coach came and picked me up every day to go to practice. Cause my mom, I don't give a damn if it with cleats. It could have been a mouthpiece. My mom was shit. I ain't got it. Right. It could have been a $3 mouthpiece. My mom really, I ain't got it. The motherfucker got to have a mouthpiece. You better get it for him. Or he gonna be out there with the motherfucking teeth knocked out when he get hit.
I mean, it's a lot of truth to that. It's a lot of truth to that part of the game. Especially with like a lot of parents overinvest and waste money, and you ain't got to spend all that money to show your child you love them, trying to push them to a sport when you know and you see what you got, and it's not really there. It's not necessarily. I don't know. I just see a lot of money getting wasted.
Now you're right. See.
Because I speak to the same thing. Like, when my mama didn't have to pay for us to play no more, that's when she knew she had something. That's when we realized, okay, let's go ahead and make a commitment to it because the coaches are now willing to invest. Yeah, we got to go out here and do the car washes now to help compensate for that money. We got to go out here and, try to win this tournament for real because it's on the line, whatever it takes. But because the coaches made the sacrifice, my mother didn't have to in certain circumstances. That does still hold true. There's a lot of these kids right now paying to play on teams. Man, you paying for the other guy too. These numbers are outrageous in these sports, and you just don't realize it's a lot of passes still being given, but we got to fund this trip anyway.
Right.
That's where all these crazy little pop-up little all-star teams come out of nowhere, because coach done booked this tournament and he know if they win, they get X amount of dollars. He got the squad.
And that's why everybody get a rhythm.
But he shot $4 grand.
Right.
That's why everybody get a trophy.
But like all the money.
Like CAC, those and I know that's another show, but those organizations always have one or two, have multiple teams, and team B and C is paying and they funding team A.
I guarantee you, whomever is the man or the slash man, they ain't
paying that.
They ain't paying shit.
Got his cleats bought. His bag came free, fully swagged out.
Hey, ACA coach.
That's why my mama never told a lie. That's why my mama never told a lie. Because at the end of the day, if you saying my son this and that, goddamn it, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know whether I got it or not. Get with, I ain't got it for that.
Hey, from a coach perspective, I'm telling you, like this is how y'all talking some real stuff. From a coach perspective, when they say, "Well, why that dude don't play on your team?" I'm like, he ain't got no ride, though. that's code for he ain't good enough.
He ain't. There you
Yeah,
go.
That's code for he ain't good enough, right? Like I had
I
like
can't
last year.
burn $30 worth of gas every week.
Listen, man.
Not on him.
I coached my
Go get you
son.
some.
I coached my not to sidebar too much. I coached my son's 6th grade team. I mean 5th grade team last year. Hey, this parent that lived about 15 minutes from me, she was like, I can't get him there. I was like, hey, Sally, you gotta call you. You ain't got no family. You ain't got no family or nothing. And then so my wife was like, you used to pick up kids. I'm like, I've driven over an hour twice a week to go get kids for basketball, to and from practice. I'm
That
like,
guy.
if they
They
was
were
if,
ballers.
right, they all played college. I'm like, if he was that guy, that 15 minutes would mean nothing to me.
Right.
Yeah, but
That's
I
what
can't
I'm
go get.
saying.
I know what you're talking about.
It
So,
don't
But
matter.
when he ain't the guy, that's a long way. 15 minutes, boy. I gotta get my son. Gotta get into bed. I get home too late.
And
Yeah,
to
but
CA
I'll be
point,
leery out
man.
there.
15, 20 minutes
You ain't
that
paying
way.
for somebody else.
You ain't come back
Child.
another 30
Hey,
times.
to CA point, I know parents. You know what I'm saying? I hope they ain't watching the show tonight, because I know they don't know. I truly apologize. I'm just using you as an example. No matter ain't said shit.
You gotta hold it now. You made
I
it
can't
too
even
big.
say. I ain't gonna even say it. I ain't gonna even say it. I can't even say it.
Nah,
I
you
just
do
know
it right.
that, like you said, but you said in a sense, there are parents that are overpaying and overcoaching. Certain like you paying for all these private lessons and shit, and come on, man, that shit ain't. Come on, bro. Don't start treating this.
Listen, a lot of parents
That kid
aren't
gonna be in front
realistic.
of the computer.
A lot of parents aren't realistic. No, that's what it is. It's like CA said, they trying to force them into something that they want them
Giving
in. The
these kids
kid ain't
trophies,
really.
they be giving them trophies.
They give them trophy, like AP say, give them trophy for everything. I can't stand that, dog. Like, don't give me no ribbon for playing in the tournament if we ain't win.
That make you want to win one.
The coach, dog, I can tell you so much on that level, dog. Like that's like I got a different mindset, dog. Like if we ain't playing for the championship bracket, my team know we leaving early.
Average.
Like we go out of town, that's what like that trophy. I think that's the mentality of society, and that's how this kid that we started this conversation got left like not paid attention to, because we don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. We want everybody to get a trophy, everybody to be included.
Yeah.
That's not helping. If you ain't kicking it real with somebody, regardless of the situation, academics, athletics, financial, if you ain't kicking it real with them, you're not helping them become a better person. And that's what they're doing to this kid. They're not helping him become a better person in society, because they school trying to push him along, the mama trying to act like she don't know what's going on. It's like, come on, man, we failing this kid.
So let me ask you guys this, and I don't want to be legal to point, because I actually talked to a teacher earlier tonight, and one of my good homies, he's a teacher, and just to their credit, and I should have did this earlier, but they are under immense pressure from the administration, because they have to report numbers, right? Graduation and promoting. They have to promote that, so they stuck between. It's like a rock and a hard spot. They almost have to pass these kids just to keep the budget and funding coming, even though they know these kids ain't learning nothing and shouldn't be promoted. But the system, I don't want to say the administration, is forcing teachers to pass the kids along or give them makeup work when they shouldn't, to make the kid be able to pass.
That's why they took away the graduation test.
I think that is the system.
That's why they took away the graduation test, man. That shit started off as a fluke. First, it started off, they only had to pass 2 parts, the reading and the damn math. That 3rd year, it went up to the social science. By the time we got that 4th year, they added their social science.
You talking about SATs and shit?
English,
you talking about that?
No,
we had to do the writing.
I remember what part I'm about. There was a test you had to take, and if you could,
graduation.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the SAT, but I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
And remember they had the scandal when they was arresting teachers. Everybody was turning themselves in and all that because they said they had quote unquote cheated on the fucking test. For that same reason, what you were saying. passing, trying to get these kids through to keep our rates up.
Right, so they can get more
Now,
government money.
It took that away. Them people still suffering behind that, but you still got the same situation going. We're just giving these kids something for nothing.
Right, I'm with you.
Good shit. Good shit. Yeah.
And this fuck been playing tug of war for this shit, man. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it's sad to say, man. I don't want to put any conspiracy theories out there, but it's just the truth of the matter. Once again, it's almost seems like it's man against the machine. It always seems to boil back down to money, funding, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just sucks, man, and it's just sad to see so many things going on in now day and age. I had some news and gossip I wanted to talk about, but we don't been on by the hour, man, and I may have to.
Hey, that's one of the
next show.
One of them polarizing topics you brought out.
Yeah, but I mean, it sucks, man. To see a kid.
Y'all keep recruiting good. Kirby, keep developing young men, man. Y'all keep recruiting good. Get them up out in them spots. Develop young men, man. Whoever recruit, develop young men.
It's just such a fumble. I'm not even blaming anybody at this point, but it's just such a fumble. I blame, matter of fact, on all three parties: the mom, the kid, and the school system. But how the fuck do you go from 9th grade to 12th grade? I'm expecting to go see my child graduate, and these mother telling me he got to go back to the 9th grade.
Walking like Michael Jackson.
That's a slap in the face.
That is, CA.
Yeah.
Like,
what
they tried her like she
what's
was
going on?
Like they really that's a good point. CA said that they tried to act like she was stupid. Like as a parent, like how you ain't called me in 4 years but one time, and now you tell me.
Like to the mom point, like I get what she's saying, but in totality, like I almost called her something. I forgot. I'm trying to get out here.
Watch out.
But how do you not? She said like my son was, being promoted and moved on, so I assumed that was the wrong thing. I assumed that everything was good. But damn, bitch, I still call it bitch. But damn, you don't assume. You don't at least look at the C's of. I know he passed, but see if he making C's or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's where that mentality comes. She was just. Yeah, she was just good with whatever she thought was barely enough to make it.
Hold up, man. I mean, if we're digging this deep, man, look, she wasn't even living in the same house as that man. He had the address. He picking up the mail. He signing the slips.
Thank you. This is my damn opinion. Please keep it real.
She ain't even there. She pulling up behind defect. Gonna be there. What? Like it ain't. It's not a big deal to her. She legitimately shook. She don't know what's going on.
but I'm gonna play the victim.
Jump time at the school. What?
Yeah,
man.
She
might not even know where the
on the other side of town. Exactly. Like she thought he was graduating last year. He just hold up.
I'm coming to the graduation. Bitch, you don't even know where he. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on, man. How the fuck your son got 282 absences and you don't fucking know?
Close, shorty.
Yeah, that shit made me mad. I get hot. I knew about that shit, man.
He been suppressing that word for the whole show. He wanted to say that in the opening.
I did.
Yeah, close.
Go on the call, bitch.
Gotta fit the job coat, man. Y'all
so look here, man.
Hey, good stuff. Dog coat needs to get right there. That's what he go right now.
Oh my god.
So no way y'all thought that man into a grave. That man gonna go rob the store.
Because I hope the kid truly, I hope the kid end up being a productive taxpayer.
He can bounce back, man. He needs.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Hopefully, he can get his GED and go to, some type of trade school. Cause he ain't going to college, right? We know that. And which where he should have been doing anyway. But that's another story. We talk about it. Go to trade school and find some kind of way to be productive. you know what I'm saying, in society. You know what I'm saying? Because of whatever he's gone through in his public school trials and tribulations doesn't mean he's not going to be a productive citizen. And that's
Especially
kind of
trade school, military gonna get him.
It might be the best thing for him though. CA, show him some structure.
But that's kind of my point.
In Baltimore.
But that's kind of my point. Ultimately, to be honest, of the show is that, you know, in my opinion, I just think the school systems are failing us because we don't. I don't want to say we don't need the school system, but that old tradition of going to school then going to college, that shit played out, man. You got a lot of folks that you can make money and be very successful.
It's a lot of
even without a high school. Yeah, even without a high school diploma. So let's just stop trying to force these folks like we sheep. Let's stop pushing these folks into this 12 to 16 year of nothingness. When after maybe 8 to 10 years, they can start developing themselves. And to CA point, I think he made a good point. You know, when you that young and that early, you may not necessarily know what you want to do yet. You know what I'm saying? All I can say is, for the first 8 years, I do have a litmus score, your test, and what you got going on, and I can only, you know, prognosticate on what you can do. Ultimately, you can still decide if you want to go take Cap 3,000 for the next, you know, 2-3 years. Go on and do that.
You gonna stop attacking
based off your scores,
How you gonna stop attacking my major?
My bad, Coach. But just based on your scores, I think I need to put you in this manufacturing program in the 9th grade, and you learn how to do tool and die cash. And that's going to pay you starting out $32 an hour.
If I could make a request, I would like you to do another show. I would like you to do a show like similar, follow up to this, but similar to like what you're talking about and how we can prepare our kids.
I like that.
Yeah, fair point. So let's not talk about the problem. Let's get a solution.
Yeah,
because
I think that'll be some good stuff too. Because
I think you put
lack of education in our community, in that not book education, but world and life education. Like some people just don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like when I started, you know, looking around for schools for my son, my wife was like, well, we just go to where they zone for. I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing. We're looking for the best school for what we want him to do in life. You know what I'm saying? So, but some of us just don't know.
I think that'll
be a good show.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna say this to Coach out, the real AP. Can't see CA tab, but you know who I'm talking about. Since you're gonna put me on the spot, I don't. Since you're gonna put me on the spot, Coach, I don't mind doing a follow-up show to that. But I'm gonna task you guys with helping me with the content hell. Don't put that shit all on me.
Let's do it. I'm asking you to do it so I can come back off. So I can come back off.
I just talking shit.
It got to be the same squad.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
For sure. Yeah, man. For sure, man. I'm definitely with that. Matter of fact, this is definitely, I think, man, if I'm right, Pot, this is our second time touching on this subject, right?
It is. I was on the trade show.
Okay. So yeah, so we have touched on this before, and definitely it's a living document. It's always forever changing. I don't mind expounding on it, but I think you made a great point as opposed to and I'm a big component of that, as opposed to just pointing out the problem. Most people already know what the problem are. Just try to bring up some solutions. And that's what I try to do in terms of sending kids to trade, like turning high schools into trade schools.
There's so many avenues to make money. There's so many avenues to make money, man. Just 2 years ago, and I ain't saying that you should push your kids into gaming, but a guy won a Fortnite tournament at age 14 and won $3 million.
No, gamers are gamers. You got some kids who play fucking games 10, 12 hours a day.
Not to veer off too much, you do know there's an e-gaming teams in certain colleges.
Shaq is invested in it.
Man, they got tournaments.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They got college teams for e-gaming.
Listen, I'm a gamer. Me and your son lead up. I'm a gamer. I can go ahead and tell you my guy. I'm trying to think of his name. He's very big on the Injustice. I don't know if anybody. Anyway, it's called Injustice 2. It's a PlayStation Xbox game. So I'm big on that too. But anyway, the tournament for that guy won it about 3 years ago, $80,000. High school kid.
And to your point, you don't have to take a whole bunch of math and science, social studies and stuff. You could go take graphic design, computer,
But you
video
do
game
this.
coding. Like I say, my son in 6th grade and already took a how to develop video game class. You know what I'm saying? So we need to push our kids in the right and teach parents, at least let them know avenues to look for these things, because again, some people just all they know is college or military or get a job.
Right. And
College
that's how we
Wrong
were
game
raised.
up.
Yeah, that's how we were raised. You going to college, to the military, or get a job. Shit
You know
don't
how to
change,
fly a
bro.
drone. You can go to the Air Force now.
Right.
There you go. There you go. Matter of fact, see, and that evolved from the video game. Like,
Exactly.
you got motherfuckers who play video games. They
Come on,
so
man.
good at
I
video
played Top
games.
Flight, man. That come from Top Flight back in '88
Right.
over there
Boy, come on.
at the
That's real.
arcade. 75 cents for one play.
Right.
How
Right.
you think I learned how to play golf? Tiger
But see-
Woods, PlayStation.
But that's what I'm
Tiger
That's
saying.
how I
like,
learned about golf.
You're right.
we don't even know little stuff like if you don't if the military is the last option and you go to the military, we should be pushing them to the Air Force. They make more money.
More
and
money.
they do
Or Navy.
less. And they do less as far as being in harm's
Air
way.
Force,
Like,
Air Force is safe. I ain't
The
saying,
only thing
I
about
should
the Air
say safe.
Force,
they the last branch to go. Let's just say that
Right.
they the last branch to
Seem
go.
like it.
the only thing about the Air Force and the Navy, that's some other little thing. But in terms of money, I get you guys, but I know I got some folks in the, I got a lot of folks in the military. I ain't trying to be on a boat with a whole bunch of hard legs. But,
What that's true.
But that's
I'm
another
just-
story.
We talking about life. We talking about being successful in life. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Well, we gotta talk about the good and bad.
Hey, let's not go too deep. We got Jason in here. He don't like us
Look.
saying Air Force make more money than him.
Look, Jason already threw something out there that it isn't exactly true, Coach. That isn't exactly true. Sorry, Jason. No, we not stepping on nobody's toes,
We
Jason.
ain't stepping on no
We
toes.
just talking
Hey,
our
we-
ish.
We appreciate what you do, what you did for the country and your
Yeah, for
service,
sure,
Jason.
sure.
You and Mike Dub, who just got in here.
Shout out to Sooner Legend, man. I'm sorry y'all just got in, man, but we're gonna go on and tap
Hey,
on
good
him.
stuff, man.
I don't-
Good stuff.
I don't have the guys on already too long, too late, man. Oh damn, Stone, I didn't know you was a former Army
Oh,
Ranger. Shout
He
out.
was out there doing that. Hey,
Appreciate
that's
you,
what I'm
sir.
talking about. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
I ain't gonna lie though,
Okay.
when y'all play Navy, I got Navy. My homeboy Drew Chronic, new offensive coordinator. So it's
Chronic. Oh, he the OC? Chronic.
OC. They got him out of
Okay.
Mercer.
Let's go.
Shout out to Chronic, another Bulldog making big moves. Shout out to Drew
East
Chronic, man.
Caeta.
OC. There you go. That's what's up. So, man, before we go, man, as always, when we first come on our show, man, I always give the guys a chance to shout out what they need to shout out. Let the people know where they can find them, all that good shit. So, Coach, let the people know where they can find you, man, and any shout outs, anything you want to let me know.
But man, y'all already know Fan Addict, man. Respect the Hedges on Tuesday and occasional pop up on Just My Damn Opinion, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button here, subscribe, man. This ain't just sports over here, man. We talking intellectual conversations and gossip and music and everything, man. Make sure y'all be a part of the Just My Damn Opinion family.
Shit, Coach, I don't even know we hit sports tonight.
Hey, that's what it's all about, though. Sometimes you gotta do
Right.
that. Sometimes you gotta do
That's
that.
what's up. CA, you know what I'm saying? Same thing to you, boss.
Man, I ain't got nothing to share. I appreciate being a guest, and I'm honored every time you have me, and I'm gonna make sure I get back in the building. If you catch me here, just giving my damn opinion, respect the Hedges. Get him one or two.
That's what's up. AP.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. You know what I'm saying? You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with us.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Big.
My brother from another mother dad, I love you, boy. Now, Coach, I appreciate you taking out the time, family time. Hey, I like that little hug too when he came in and gave the hug earlier.
Every
That
night,
was
dog.
big, wasn't it?
Every night, dog. Every
Boy,
night.
My homie
CA,
just now hopping on camera. My homie just hopping on camera.
You know what I'm saying? On the back end.
My boy CA,
You thought we
man,
were backstage?
appreciate you tuning in, coming in.
You know what I'm saying? I'll click it up a little bit.
Respect the Hedges, man. Y'all boys tuning in with them, every Tuesday.
For sure.
Sooner Legend. Appreciate that, Jason. Y'all checking in. And to everybody else, man, you know what I say. hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that bell to get notified. We're still out here.
Ooh,
I like
you
it. I
killing me
like
with
that.
I like that.
Killing
I
me.
like
Bars.
that.
Bars.
That shit,
Yes.
that shit get me every time, coach, and I know it be coming. But he just, I hate he can't. I hate I didn't pack next.
That's some good stuff, AP.
Right.
So, and with that being said, yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the comments, man, that tapped in. Hall of Fame College Football Network, Jason, man. I think Coach, he said he wants to get on tomorrow night. And we can, I'm sure we will be. Coach can speak for himself, but if I can, I will be. Shout out to Sooner Legends, man. He just started his new podcast, man. So Oklahoma football, anything Oklahoma or just, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, I think he talked about a lot of just like kind of old school stuff. Yeah, history, man. So if you want to know about that, check out on, my bad, had some pop on. Check on Sooner Legends, man. He got some good stuff
History
going
ball,
on.
let you boy.
Hall of Fame college football is great as well. Check out Jason here, Oklahoma fan. We're gonna be tapping that ass next year. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all coming in to the conference. We're gonna be tapping that ass. With that being said, also Coach I, you can find me, Coach I, CA, every Tuesday night. Or we off season, but you can find us on Tuesday nights for sure. Respect the Hedges, man. All Georgia college football. We will be back next week. Just my damn opinion. Same bat time, same bat channel. I could be lying, but generally, same bat time, same bat channel. You know what I'm talking about? Same bat time, same bat channel. Opinions are like assholes, man. Everybody got one. And I got one too. So check us out this week, man. We up out of here, man. Just my damn opinion, man. We up out this week. We up out of here.